I remember getting out of a lesson when we went out in the boonies to teach, and we got out of the lesson, and I looked at my companion and I said, I have no idea what he said. You know, people told me when I went to South Carolina that it would be a different language, and I didn't really believe them, you know. And when you're in the city, maybe it's not so much, but when you get out into the boonies, you know, and people not only have a thick accent, they kind of cut off their words about halfway and skip to the next word and get lazy. And then on top of that, they sort of slur it all together. And so it can be very difficult to understand if you haven't heard it before. And my companion looked at me and he said, don't worry, you'll pick it up in about, 8 or 9 months or so. And it's true, after a while I did get used to it. Another very funny thing along the lines of language was in any of the poorer areas, particularly among the blacks, and not to be racist, but it's just how it was. A lot of times they would replace a lot of their T's with K's. So instead of going straight down the street, they would say, go straight down the street. And you'd ask them if they'd be interested in hearing a message about Christ. And they're like, no, I'm straight. They would, instead of saying strawberries, they'd say scrawberries. Instead of trouble, they might say crubble. And just all sorts of things like that. And it was very interesting because I had no idea, and I never even heard of that until I went there. So